Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I am going to be doing a new series that I want to start on my channel, and this is the first part of it. I don't know how much I'm going to do of this series. I don't know how often I'm going to do it, but it's something that I thought of this morning while I was sitting down right after my dream this morning and having a cappuccino, and it just popped in my head. I've been trying to think of things to do fun with the tarot, and this popped in my head. A few months back, I had a really good time in the monthly medicine over on Don Michelle's membership channel, and it was really a adventure, a story time that you add to it via tarot. So I had a really good time in that. So I decided to come up with a series called Story Time, a tarot adventure. And so I wrote a story. Sorry, I'm a little preoccupied because it's storming out pretty bad now. So I'm going to read this to you, and as I read it to you, and it's 2 pages, I took pictures of this. I will be putting it in the Amethyst Ascension group, and it's a story that you follow along also with your own tarot deck. So let's just get started. Put this aside a second. Ouch. And this will be like Story Time, a Tarot Adventure, episode 1. And I have decided to use the, I don't know if I want to use the Haunted House, Tarot of the Haunted House, or Dark Mansions. I think I'm going to use the Dark Mansions, actually. We'll see how it turns out. So let me read this to you really quick, okay? So you get invited to a weekend event at this beautiful yet very mysterious mansion that sits outside of town in a remote but gated area. It has sat vacant and overgrown for as long as you can remember. The invitation that you received is for you and one guest. So draw 1 card to see who will accompany you. So who's going to accompany me on this journey? Ooh, the Queen of Cups is going to accompany me. Now, you can either associate this with somebody, or you can just it be the Queen of Cups. So that's who's going to go with me, is the Queen of Cups. You travel to the location, and upon arrival, the gate just automatically opens up for you. You proceed to the front parking area where a middle-aged butler is waiting for you with staff to grab your luggage and show you to your rooms. As you enter the mansion, you are completely overtaken by how magnificent and elaborately decorated it is. You then become struck with a peculiar smell, and your heartbeat begins to increase as a vision fills your third eye, your mind's eye. So draw 3 cards or more to explain your vision. Okay, so I'm just walking into this elaborate mansion that has mysteriously sat vacant for as long as I can remember, and it's just outside of town in this remote area. And I get struck by this smell and vision. So let's see. What vision do I see? Oh. I seen a young man who was trying to build his fortune, and he fell in love with this beautiful lady, and he proposed to her But her father would not allow her to marry this man because he was of a, maybe because she was already betrothed to somebody else or something. She had great love for this guy, and he had been searching for her, and this was his land. And then because he couldn't marry her, he took off. He left on a journey to like better his station in life. So the cards that I got were the Knight of Pentacles, Four of Wands, the Emperor, and the Chariot. You regain your composure and proceed to your rooms, and your guest is shown to their room that sits right across the hall from your own. You enjoy looking over your room at old pictures and beautiful draperies, and then proceed to lay down on the large, luxurious bed to see how comfortable it is. You stretch your arms out really big, taking in your surroundings, and then you hear a knock on the door. You answer the door, and your friend is standing outside with a bottle of wine and a big smile. You both decide to indulge in some wine and proceed to tell your friend, the Queen of Cups, about your vision. Shortly after, there is another knock on the door, and staff member ushers you and your guests to the main area, where you are also greeted by many other guests who seem oddly familiar, but you just cannot recall who they are. A couple of staff members appear and begin taking all of the guests on a tour of the house and the lands, and relaying the entire history of this enormous estate. Draw 3 cards or more to tell the history of this place. All right, so let's see. Tell me about the history of this place. This land, the mansion, why it sat vacant for so long. Oh. Wow. I can't believe what's coming up in my head already. Show me more. Give me a few more. I want to see how this story unfolds. The history. Oh. Just a couple more. Oh, okay, this is just wowza. All right, so let me set these aside. Let me set this aside so I can fan these out really quick. And I don't think they really need to. I mean, you can lay them out however you want and let the story reveal itself to you. So let me look this over for just a second. So I feel like first thing that I'm seeing is the 6 of Swords that came out and the Sun card. Those were the first 2 things. And then this one. So although I'm saying you don't have to, but for me, I want to get close to. Okay. So for me, I'm thinking that these were people that came from the original owners, or who had this house built, came from another country, leaving it behind. And the children were so excited to come to this new country in the United States from another country. And so they traveled via boat. And when they first got here, being an immigrant, he had to fight really hard. This owner had to fight really hard to stand up to other people of different cultures. It kind of reminds me, what I'm seeing here is like Gangs of New York kind of thing. And so he had to stand up to other people and fight for his wealth. And sometimes he got a little bit greedy and maybe a little bit ruthless, because this character right here kind of reminds me of, even though I know he's got the, the higher land, in this one, it just kind of feels like he was the Daniel Day-Lewis character. And so he was fighting for the land. And see, even this one kind of makes me think of Gangs of New York. And so he had like other, maybe they were Irish descent. This feels Irish to me. So he was of Irish descent, and he ended up joining in or paying off the military, not the military, the police, the local police, and some other underhanded stuff in order to get this property, right? And let me see what else we got here. Then we've got the Two of Pentacles, the Devil, Page of Swords, and the Three of Wands. See, this kind of also felt like the other people, the young man. This was the young man from the vision, and the young girl that he had fallen in love with. And this was the father. So I feel like there was unrequited love, and the young man that I seen in the vision was trying to gain the respect of the father. So he wanted to go out and make a living for himself and, do something for himself, because he thought that that's what the father was wanting, right? It was, like this hero's journey and being in his ego. And he thought that if he had money and work hard, that he could get the girl that he wanted. But that never happened. That never happened. Okay. And when the daughter was married off and the father died, the daughter did not want to marry the other man. She was in love with this other guy, but she had been betrothed to this other man, and she ended up having to marry him, and the man died alone, okay? He died alone in this house. So, now let's see. Immediately after the tour, dinner is ready and waiting for all guests. They are shown to the massive formal dining area that is in the center of the mansion with no outside windows. The dining table is so long and opulent, filled with lots of decadent dishes and cutlery. All of the guests had assigned seats so that they would converse with people they had just met. The setting is dark and intimate, filled with tons of lit candelabras and wall sconces to illuminate the room in dancing shadows and a warm glow. The host is announced and appears from out of the dark shadows by the room's entrance and sits at the head of the table, accompanied by his stunning wife at the other end of the table. There is something about these people that also seem eerily familiar, but also so very unsettling. Who is this host, and why has he invited me here, I ask myself. So then there are 6 other questions to finish this little story off. And these are just for fun. It's just to see where your imagination takes you. So the first question is, who is this host? So let's find out who this host is. Who is this host? Who is this host? Okay. So, the host is a very influential man of the world who has traveled a lot, and his beautiful young wife. And there's something more to it, though. Let's see. 2. Why does he seem familiar? That's question 2. Why does he seem familiar? Show me, why does he seem familiar? Yes. I'm telling you, it does not get better than this, right? He seems familiar, and I'm sorry, I forgot to put these up. That was the World card, and I was thinking something else with that World card too. And the Queen of Wands. Okay. Oops. The High Priestess comes out. Why does he seem familiar? Because I am tapping into a previous life experience, and this man was in a previous life. That's why. It's like a memory. So, why do these other guests seem familiar? Why do all these other guests seem familiar? Why do all these other guests seem familiar? Or perhaps it's somebody that I dreamed about, right? Yes, memories, dreams, intuition. Why do they feel familiar? Oh, okay. I got several cards here for why all these other guests seem familiar. First, I got 6 of Pentacles. I got the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords, or the King of Cups, and the Page of Wands. It's because these are previous family members. I am being given the gift of memory recall from previous lifetimes and ancestors that have reincarnated over and over again. Because we have unfinished business, right? So, why has this host and his wife invited me here? Why has this host and his wife invited me here? And you see, depending on what deck you're using also, and where your mind automatically goes, I think tells a lot about your psyche and your interests and the things that you are attracted to. And I think the cards that you use can also dictate the way that your reading goes. Queen of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. Yes. Okay, I just got... So, why has he invited me here? He has invited me here because I am supposed to remember that I was that girl that had the unrequited love. I had married the other guy that my father made me marry. And this time around, I need to make a better decision for myself because times are different. Am I going to be stuck in that same pattern? That same where I feel these family obligations? Or am I going to heal this pattern? Okay. So, question 5. What has your inner vision revealed to you? What has my inner vision? Oops. A whole lot, apparently. Come on. That's not even fair. What has my inner vision revealed to me? So we got 2 of Wands. Oh, goodness gracious, yes. What has my inner vision revealed to me? I hope more people do this and join in and show how, whatever deck that they're using, whatever, maybe I just got done reading a book called A Witch in Time, and it's a witch who's was cursed by her mother unknowingly, and she had to keep on repeating different lives with the same man, and until she broke it, which was almost impossible to break, but she did. Well, I shouldn't have said that, but anyways. Okay, so that's kind of what's playing out in my psyche. What does your inner vision reveal to you? Yes. So my inner vision has revealed to me that the choices that I make in life and the plans that I make for my life can bring about the things that I desire in life. I can be happy and fulfilled when I make the right choices. And that if it's something that I really want, I have to take that initiative and work hard towards attaining the goals in my life. That I dictate my destiny. I dictate what happens in my life by the choices that I make and the opportunities that I seize. Now, the last question. What is my next step? So what is my next step in this story? Wow. Yes. Give me a little bit more. Show me. Okay, let's see. I'm telling you, you just cannot make this stuff up. Okay, so I got the Ace of Pentacles. So knowing that new beginning, taking that opportunity when I see it, seizing it. Going after the person that I love, not sitting and waiting in the background because you think that in this life it wasn't meant for her, right? For me. Six of Wands. From that comes a happy marriage, right? Making the choice. And the Knight of Cups. That was the Knight. I keep on getting the Knight. So that was the Knight who had originally been the Knight who wanted to marry me to begin with in a previous lifetime. And it was this. Was this all a dream? Was this my psyche? Because, and another reason I did it like this is because many times in a dream, and I do big dream work, that when they say that it is a house that is depicted, you are the house. And the other characters are maybe different parts of you or people that you have previously known or past loved ones. I've had that experience as well. So I wanted them to all help me and help whoever is doing like a story like this to see where it leads them, right? So made the right choice, took the opportunity, and ended up marrying my knight in shining armor. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I like I said, I don't know how often I'm going to be doing this. I will be taking 2 pictures of this and putting it in the Amethyst Ascension family group on Facebook so that anyone who would like to can print these off or just put them up on their screen and that they can do it as well. And this new series is going to be called Storytime, a Tarot Adventure with Rachele. So, or with Amethyst Ascension. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope to see you doing it as well. And I am sending you love always.